Hi, Brother Denny here. I'd like to say I have seen God at His best. In the ministry, I remember I was going to a church here on the south side of the city, and the pastor there, he'd take me with me, or take me with him to do hospital calls and what have you. I really enjoyed going and seeing God do a lot of awesome things, but we were some people had invited us to come to a nursing home on the west side of the city, and anyway, I'd met some people over there, and they told me about their I believe it was her sister was in the hospital. She had cancer and way up north, and so I told this pastor, a friend of mine, about it, and I asked him would he go with me, and I said, of course he knew him too, and he knew because of the mom and dad, her mom and dad, the lady was sick. Her mom and dad went to their church, and anyway, somehow we'd all got together there and decided that him and I would go. So his name was Claude, and so him and I went, and Brother Claude, and we went up to visit these people, and back then I didn't know a whole lot about, when you go in hospitals, I had to learn, and I was learning. So I remember we met these people, and of course I knew the mom and dad too, and anyway, we went in to pray for this lady, and I don't know, I'm going to guess and say she was probably in her 50s, maybe 60. Anyway, I remember him and I going in that room, and the mom and dad, and praying for her. We went in and talked to her, and they actually said there was no hope for her, and it was in I guess it was a hospice type setting, and anyway, we started praying for her. We talked a while, and the mom and the dad and Brother Claude and myself. And I remember we all held hands. We stand there at the bed, and we all held hands, and the lady did too. I wish I could remember her name, but we all held hands, and we started praying. And this prayer went on probably for 5-6 minutes, I imagine, maybe even longer. When you're praying in time, you kind of lose track, and I just remember we was all praying, and we got done praying, and I had standing there, and I just didn't feel like we were done. And of course, I'm with the pastor, and he started talking to her and to the parents, and I just stood there, and of course they all looked at me, and I said, can I keep on praying? And I remember this lady that was laying there, she said, you sure can. And I said, I just didn't feel like I was all done yet. I said, I quit because the pastor quit, but I just didn't feel like I was done praying. I just wanted to pray a little bit more, and it wasn't about me. It was just something God laid on my heart to do. Okay, I know some people might get frustrated sometimes with some of my videos, but it's all God, it ain't me. I just want to be obedient to Him. So they didn't care, and they said, no, you go ahead. Well, I remember I reached my pocket, and I pulled out a prayer cloth, and I got it out, and I asked her, I said, do you mind? I said, I'd like to tape this on your arm. And I said, doesn't matter which arm, I said, I want you to tape it on your arm, or we will. And so anyway, give her the prayer cloth, and just believe with that prayer cloth. And in another video, I'll tell you about the prayer cloths. But anyway, how that came about, I had that prayer cloth, and she put it on, or was going to put it on. But I just touched her hand again, and I just started praying, and I just felt the Spirit just come all over me. I mean, He just came all over me, and a lot of times when I pray for people, they don't understand it, but I just go into like a cry, and it's just God touching me, and sometimes I shake all over. I'll just be honest with you, and anyway, but God reveals things sometimes, and then I know I've said things, and I may have said something to her, and I can't even remember what I said after we come out of the prayer. But we got all done praying, and anyway, we talked a while, and then we left. And I remember I was kind of feeling bad, because I thought, he's the pastor. I'm just Brother Denny. He's the pastor. And I just told him when we was leaving in the car, I said, Brother Claude, I said, I don't want you to think. I said, I just felt like I just wasn't finished praying. He said, that's quite all right. He said, if God gives you something to do, you do it. So anyhow, he dropped me off and everything. Well, like I said, she was in really bad shape in that. It was a hospice unit. So I don't know. I'm going to say, again, I'm going back. It's been a while, but it seemed like to me it may be a month or so. And I'd seen this lady's mother and dad, in which they were in their late 70s, early 80s maybe. And they told how their daughter who got healed of that cancer and got out of that hospital. And that's been, had to have been probably 11, 12 years ago. Well, God had healed her, and that was just awesome. I mean, just awesome what he'd done. I'm sure a lot of other people were praying for her too. But I remember when the mom passed away here, matter of fact, not 2-3 months ago. And I can tell you, her daughter is still alive today. The one that we prayed for up there, they just didn't, there was just no way out for her. But see, and that pastor was with me, the one that always says, it ain't over until God says it's over. And so I just want to give God all the glory and thank him for what he done in that, so I could share this testimony. And in that, I'd just like to say, have a blessed day and be blessed.